I'm here back with Markos, organizer of Vietnam Nomad Fest.
Yay!
First of all, I would like to applaud you for pulling this off, making the first ever Vietnam Nomad Fest with Dimitri and Alex. Three of
Exactly.
you pulled this amazing job together, and I was honored to be part of the volunteer team joining this amazing event. Marcos is from Greece, as you saw in the previous short interview we did, but today I brought him here for him to share with you his experience in Danang. How is it life like living in Danang as a nomad, a person who's working online, and why should digital nomads come to Danang? Mike is
Yeah.
yours.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the invitation. I want to share something how I started living in Danang, okay?
Amazing.
So it was, I think it was like December 22, and then I read an article about Danang that it was the second fastest digital nomad city in the world.
Wow, in
And that was
2022.
in December 22.
Okay.
And then I was very curious to come to Danang because I was traveling around Southeast Asia and I was in Bali and Thailand and Cambodia. And then some friends that were in Danang in the Bana Hills, in the Golden Bridge, and the weather was fully foggy and windy and rainy and cold. So I was like, oh, maybe that's not a good idea to go in January in Danang. So I skipped 2023. But I had some so strong intuition that I need to go to Danang. And I came here for 1 month in January 24, and I stayed.
You and I was just living.
So I'm in Danang for over 1 year, of course, with a few breaks, 3 months back to Europe and a few weeks in the Philippines and Thailand. But most of the time I was in Danang, even during the rainy season, which is November and December mainly.
So, from your 1 year experience, can you walk us through like how did you get settled here? What's the living cost like? Yeah, just like some information for people to know who are interested maybe or want to
Yeah.
thinking about it.
So yeah, first of all, I want to say that Da Nang is the fastest growing city of Vietnam. It is growing like really fast. Imagine that even last year there were more than 5 new co-working spaces. In January 2025, I went to Thailand for the Nomad Summit for 2 weeks, and in just 2 weeks, they built new restaurants, new grocery stores, new coffee shops in just 2 weeks.
Wow, that's
So
really
it's
fast.
growing super, super fast.
And especially for nomads, right?
Especially for nomads, like especially this area, the Nian area or Antho, this district, is growing super fast. The nomad community is very big. There are many meetups, there are many activities that we are doing. And regarding the cost of living, imagine that you can go to local Vietnamese restaurants and have a full meal with a side soup or salad and unlimited tea with $1, let's say, or €1, something like that, just $1.
Wow.
Or drinks like smoothie, juice, coffee, tea with $0.50, $1 also. And regarding the accommodation, there are people that they are having 2 bedrooms apartment with living room, kitchen, parking, gym, balcony with view, and swimming pool for even $300 per month. And this is 10 minutes motorbike from this area. This
Wow.
area is I would say 50% more expensive. For example, I'm staying in this area. I pay around $470 per month for a 2 bedrooms apartment with big living room and kitchen, bathroom, of course.
$470.
Yeah, 2 bedrooms with a super beautiful view to the whole beach and the sea
Really?
and the Lady
Wow.
Buddha and private parking also and everything in the walking distance from everything. It is 470. And actually, my previous apartment was at the same building for $300.
Oh wow.
This one is renovated with a way better view. That's why it's a bit more expensive.
And do you
But
need
still,
like a
yeah.
year contract to pay this price?
First of all, you need the tourist visa. You need your visa to rent the apartment because this is apartment lease. It's a lease contract in Vietnamese and English. All right. So you use your passport and your tourist visa to rent it, and then it depends on the landlord. So some apartment owners they rent it for a few days, not many,
Like short term?
and then yeah, but not many. This usually mostly like Airbnb style.
Yeah.
And then there are some owners that they rent it for 1 month or 3 months or more.
Renewable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, for example, I booked my apartment for 8 months, And the only thing that I need to do is every 3 months that my visa is expiring, I need to do the visa run to Laos with a bus day trip, which is around 10, 12 hours
To do the visa run.
to go to Laos and come back the same day to have the 3 months extra for the visa run, or get a flight to go to Bangkok or Kuala Lumpur for $30, $40 or somewhere around. So it's very easy. And then I just need to send the new visa to my landlord to register in the police that I updated my visa. Talking about visa and renewals, you can also have a Vietnamese bank account with your tourist visa and passport. Pay everywhere with QR code.
Yes,
You
that's
can-
very convenient.
You can transfer money, for example, from Revolut or other banks to the Vietnamese bank account instantly.
And even if you have a tourist visa, you can
Exactly.
open a bank account.
Yeah, and you can transfer the money from your foreign bank to the Vietnamese instantly in seconds with like a $0.50, $1 commission for even $500. It's like half to $1 commission, like almost nothing. And then you can pay everywhere with the QR code, including the food market and local restaurants and street vendors. So in this way, you also avoid currency exchange or banking card commission fees, currency exchange in the card fees or ATM fees. So there are many different hacks that you can save a lot of money in Danang. Also, the motorbike rent is around $40 to $50 per month to rent a
Which is
motorbike
really,
per month.
really good.
Yeah. You can even, if you stay in Danang, you can also have a Vietnamese subscriptions to many things, and you can reduce your subscriptions like a lot. Like I had a subscription for some online courses that I was paying with my Greek account around $700 per year, and I canceled it. I made it Vietnamese,
What do you mean, like subscriptions for what?
like Zoom, Calendly, Canva Pro, all this kind of stuff.
Or like the tools that you use?
Yeah.
You have a Vietnamese,
Exactly.
cheaper prices.
So I canceled all my Greek ones and I make
You pay
almost
them with the
everything
Vietnamese card,
in
right?
Vietnamese. Not Vietnamese card.
No?
I just the platform is recognizing the Vietnamese IP and is giving you the Vietnamese offer. So
wow.
most of them, not all of them, but most of them. So I had one platform that I was paying $700, and now I pay 100.
I want to say.
Or I had another one I was paying 100 per year. Now I pay 30 for the same thing.
You are using the geographical pricing in your
Yeah,
favor,
Exactly.
basically.
Yeah. So super affordable. There are countless of meetups and co-working spaces and co-working laptop-friendly coffee shops and workshops. So you can join whatever you want. And the weather is really good most time of the year. I mean, months like end of May to beginning of August are a bit hot, like 35 degrees and maybe a bit humid. And then there is the rainy season around November, December. But most of the months are fine, are great. Yeah.
Super. Sounds really good. And I want to walk through, like, especially for people who are watching this for the first time. Like, you mentioned the cost of living in terms of rent, right? We have 300, you said, 10 minutes drive from the center, right? With the motorbike.
Exactly.
And you are paying 470 for a full furnished apartment with pool and everything.
In the most central area.
Most central area with a sea view.
Exactly.
Amazing. Now, apart from rent, what are the costs? Like, what are the costs of like buying groceries, like weekly or monthly basis, let's say
Yeah.
approximately, like, and other costs of living? Approximately. Let's walk people through that.
Okay, so my partner is Vietnamese, and she lived in Danang the last 9 years, so she knows everything about Danang.
That's really
We
nice.
go together to the food market many times to buy groceries, so she knows everything, so she knows where to buy and what to buy.
Perfect.
There are many times because she likes cooking, she's cooking amazing food. I tell her all the time that she should open a restaurant in Danang.
That's a good way. Why
Her
not?
food is the best that I tried so far.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes I ask her, okay, so the meals that we are eating now at home, how much do they cost? And most of the times, the cost for 2 people is 20 to 50 cents for 2 people.
Wow.
So if you buy groceries, you can even have a meal for $50 for 2 people or even less.
Wow, that's crazy.
So yeah, exactly.
All right. So let's say in a month, how much approximately, like per person?
In a
would
month,
spend?
yeah, like my friend Dimitris, I know that he's paying around $600 per month, including his accommodation and all the expenses.
Everything.
Everything are
Rent,
everything.
groceries.
Rent, groceries. Actually, Dimitris is only eating at restaurants
Oh, wow.
2 to 3 times every day.
Not cooking even.
Everything, yeah, not cooking, and everything is $600 per month.
Wow.
For me, I have a higher rent. I pay almost double or even more rent than Dimitris. It's like I told you, $470
For rent,
is
yeah.
the rent, including Wi-Fi, electricity, water, building fees, and
Because you
everything.
are in the city center.
Exactly,
So,
and I have a big apartment with a great view. So, including everything, the apartment, motorbike, because my father has a motorbike, so everything. Motorbike, apartment, groceries, restaurants, coffees, having fun, everything for two people, $900. For two people, $900 for everything, and this is considered expensive.
so you're living really comfortably with, with that amount of
Like
money.
yeah,
Like a king.
I can eat at the restaurants anytime I like, or I can buy whatever I want.
Don't
It's
bother.
super affordable.
Not like, for example, where you come from in Greece. Can you
No.
afford to go to restaurant every day?
Of course not.
No.
Like in Greece, if you want to have like a pasta in Athens, you can pay even 15 to $20. Like with $20 in Vietnam, you can buy 20 meals at restaurant. If you go to groceries, you can like to food market, you can have the whole month maybe. I know I have friends in Vietnam that they are English teachers and they have like a studio or one-bedroom apartment for $150 per month. Food is around $50 per month to $60 per month.
Only
So,
cooking.
mostly cooking at local Vietnamese restaurants.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, their total expenses are around $300 per month. So it's Danang is super affordable, and then it depends on the area that you want to stay. I know people that they rent super big apartments for $400 per month, for example, with 4 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, or even swimming pools.
Wow, fantastic. Fantastic. So you guys, you heard him from his experience. He's been living here for a year, and it is really affordable to live in Vietnam. And
To be honest, I noticed that the pricing increased in accommodation this year, like 10-20% more,
because of people coming more.
because more people are coming, and also in Vietnam they have something like every Tet, after Tet, like the Lunar New Year, which is around January, February, they usually increase the pricing in accommodation and the restaurants around 10-20%. So not everyone, but yeah, still. But still is very affordable. So if you pay $1 or $1.10, doesn't really make any difference, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome, amazing. Thank you very much. We talked about all these expenses for people who want to come here. So, what do you think? Like people who maybe don't have a remote job, is it a good idea still to come and live here, or is it just for digital nomads, people who already have online work?
Yeah, so most people that they are in Danang, they are digital nomads, they're working remotely. I would say 95% of the foreigners, maybe 99%.
Oh,
And then there is a very small percentage of foreigners that they work as English teachers because in Vietnam, the government, I know that is supporting the country to learn English and, you know, they pay good money. And what I mean is, if you are a part-time English teacher and working 4 to 5 hours per day in a school or a university, public school, private school, for kids or teenagers or adults, mostly kids and teenagers, I would say, they usually pay 1.2 to 2.5 thousand dollars per month for a part-time job, which is a lot of money for Vietnam.
Yeah, especially with the prices that you mentioned.
Especially smaller cities. I mean, if foreigners they want to find other kind of jobs, they need to find a job that they can prove that the locals cannot do it.
Yeah.
Like something super international that needs very good English
Or have a lot of qualifications.
yeah, or a lot of qualifications that you can say, yeah, I can do that. That most Vietnamese cannot do it, and then they can hire you and they can offer you the work permit and everything. But if you want to say, yeah, I just want to become a DJ, like something photographer, videographer, customer support, whatever, it will be super challenging.
because they're already fulfilled
because
by
they
the
already
locals
have the locals, so
doing that.
they really protect the locals in Vietnam. So yeah, it's easier for English teachers. Yeah.
Easier for English teacher and digital nomads
And
who are
digital
working
nomads,
online.
yeah.
So if someone want to transition and work online, become digital nomad, you think is a great place to start, Danang, especially with the
course.
affordable, living. There's a
Exactly.
network here.
Yeah, it's a great place because first of all, it's very affordable, have super low expenses. Depends on the area that you live and the apartment that you want to rent. Super low expenses. As I told you, even if you go to a local Vietnamese restaurant every day for 2 meals per day, $2. So $60 per month, for example. And you can find also a studio or one bedroom apartment for even $150 per month. So you can make it with even $200 to $300 per month. Like you can go really low, or if you cook home, even lower. So it's very easy to start in Danang because first of all it's super affordable. Secondly, there are so many workshops and meetups that you can join for free by just buying a coffee or a tea, for example, and you can meet amazing people super fast. Actually, during my first week in Danang, I met 50 people.
Wow.
50 people in 1 week. My first week.
Amazing.
And it was not even high season, it was like a beginning of January.
Oh, wow.
Still in the transition from rainy to dry season. Yeah, so it's super easy to make new friends and meet people and learn from each other and get inspiration and have all kinds of support you need from other nomads. Yeah, and also expats or even locals. Also, what I like in Danang is very mixed. You can see many meetups and workshops that also Vietnamese are joining.
Really?
Yeah, compared to other cities that you will see only foreigners, for example. Yeah.
So you can also connect with locals
It's
as well.
exactly, yeah. And if you join some sports like pickleball, which is a very big in Danang, it's super easy to make local friends. Or dancing events like Latin dancing. There are many locals in dancing parties or pickleball and other kind of sports. Yeah, super easy to connect with the local community.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very valuable tips. Thank you, Marcos, a lot for sharing all these
You're welcome.
golden gems, I would say. And I think a lot of people will find this video helpful, I hope. And how can people connect with you?
Yeah, so they can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Markos Korvesis with K, Markos, and then Korvesis.
Yes,
So
and
feel free to connect.
Amazing. And don't forget, guys, like they are organizing also a Vietnam Nomad Fest next year. And yes, it's your chance to connect with the team, connect with people, join next year, meet me, meet them. Yeah, it will be exciting, right?
Exactly, and I believe that the next year it will be double.
Yes.
This year we had over 200 people registered, and people are still coming because we have one more week at the moment during this video, and we believe that we will have over 400 people next year. So let's see. The dates are so far. The plan is for 20 to 29th of March 2026. And we will focus a lot in Danang and business and networking for digital freelancers like coaches, consultants, trainers, and content creators.
Amazing, amazing. All right, looking forward. Thank you very much. And yes,
Thank you so much.
have a good evening.